Sawadee Cup, and welcome to another episode here for Fight Principles, where we look into how to apply principles from fighting martial arts to real life. And today we talk about, I guess, the OG of fighting Bibles, if you will. We're talking about the art of war, strategy, stillness, and the fight before the fight. And what Sun Tzu teaches martial artists and anyone facing life's battles. So welcome back to the show, and this week, as I mentioned in the quick intro, we go back, way back into time, to one of the earliest, most powerful minds in martial thinking, Sun Tzu. And you're all familiar with The Art of War, the book, at least you know the name, right? And it's usually bros saying like, yeah, that's my book, or CEOs like, yeah, that really helped me. But The Art of War isn't just for generals or CEOs or bros. It's a manual for anyone who wants to understand conflict, strategy, and control. And yes, it's deeply relevant to fighters, martial artists, and real life. As always, we start with a very, very quick history lesson, 2 minutes max. Who was Sun Tzu, right? You all know him as the author of said book, of course, The Art of War, but who was he actually? So when you do some research, you see that he lived around 500 BCE in ancient China, was a general, a strategist, and also called a philosopher. And why did he write The Art of War, right? He wrote The Art of War as a set of principles to win, and here's the important part, without unnecessary combat. So avoiding unnecessary combat. His goal, victory with efficiency, not chaos. Mind-blown emoji right here in that 500 BCE in China. His legacy, quoted by samurai, generals, MMA fighters today, and Joe Rogan. I mean, what else can you want as your legacy, right? So his core idea was, war is not about destruction, it's about control. If you're in control at all times, you will win. And that leads to one of the first principles that he tried to write down. One quote from The Art of War is, if you know the enemy and know yourself, you need not fear the result of 100 battles. So it's by now one of the most quoted ideas in combat and business too, if you're into that. We talked about Anderson Silva the last time. He knew it. He knew his flow. Khabib knew his pressure. Khabib knew what he's good at. GSP knew which angles to utilize. Fighters who lose themselves in ego or mimicry, they crumble. If you know yourself and then you know the enemy, you need not fear the result of those battles because you know who you are. So you have to understand your own nature before you can outthink someone else's. And the application here, you don't train someone else's style. Build your own. And, also very important, don't go into any conflict completely blind. Awareness of what's happening around is your greatest weapon. And that applies not just to fighting, not just to war, but of course also to life, work. You have to find your own way of working, studying, whatever you're doing, and you can't go into any situation blindly. You have to be aware of the situation that you are approaching. You have forward thinking. And another quote from The Art of War is, the supreme art of war is to subdue the enemy without fighting. What does that mean? Well, it suggests that timing, posture, control, all those things can diffuse aggression. And it also applies directly to real-life confrontation. Do not engage on their terms. the opponent's terms, the party that you are in conflict with. To put us into like real world fights, Rotang, for example, he uses pressure because that's his style. Anderson Silva used rhythm because that's his style, that's their terms. Khabib used control time, take him down, control him. That is their terms, like Khabib's term, Silva's term, Rotang's term. And they all three dominated before the fight happened. Why? Because the opponent was so scared of their style. They're like, oh God, Khabib's going to take me down. Oh God, Anderson Silva is going to be too slick for me. Oh God, Rotang is going to pressure me so much. And then everybody tried to engage them on their terms. So timing, posture, control can diffuse aggression before it even starts. So in real life, you can resolve tension with calmness. Let others make mistakes. Control doesn't always look aggressive. Control very often can look silent. You can be in control while you're calm and quiet. You don't have to be loud to be in control. And strategic avoidance is not weakness. That's strength with patience. Again, one more time, because I think that's something that's misunderstood many a time. Strategic avoidance is not weakness. It's strength with patience. You don't have to confront head-on everything and everybody all the time. And if they think you're retreating, well, let them think, and then you strike back when time is right. Another quote I really liked, and it fits like with our first ever episode here on Fight Principles with the Bruce Lee episode, in the midst of chaos, there's also opportunity. Have like, be formless like water. What does that mean? It means chaos exposes predictability. If things go wrong, get hard, you default back to what you always do. MMA example, fighters who always blitz, always clinch. You get red. I put you under pressure, I know what you're going to do. You might hit me, but I know what you're going to do, and then I can use it against you. So Sun Tzu, in The Art of War, called for flexibility. He said, shape your opponent. Don't be shaped. Again, that aligns perfectly with Bruce Lee's be like water, my friend. Or Anderson Silva's unpredictable, but it is a difficult word for a German. Sorry. Anderson Silva's unpredictable movements, right? Crazy. So, shape your opponent. Do not be shaped. And strategy isn't just preparation. It's adaptation as well. And that's important. And I do it with my students. I know they prepare for like a very specific situation, so I change the situation. You have to be able to adapt under pressure in fighting, in martial arts, and in life. So the takeaway here is, don't let stress dictate your shape. Stay responsive. Stay liquid. Be like water. Also, create conditions. Don't just react to them. You will put your opponents, your opposing party, into the conditions that you want them in. You create conditions. Don't let others create conditions. Don't just react to conditions. Create conditions. I have one more quote for you that I really like from The Art of War, and there's so many great quotable things in there, of course. But he also says, victorious warriors win first, then go to war. Defeated warriors go to war first, and then seek to win. I should just stop right here with a mic drop. That's great. That should be on a shirt. Breaking it down. Anderson Silva looked like he fought off an instinct, but he trained that flow obsessively. He wasn't just winging it, he trained the flow to be in the flow. DJ, Demetrius Johnson, we had an episode on him as well. He didn't just guess, he prepared every single pathway, he drilled every little thing. You can see it in his YouTube channels now, how he talks about the void and everything. Emotion doesn't win fights. pattern recognition, patience, and repetition, they do. So what does it mean for life? You don't just walk into battles unarmed by planning and presence. Yeah, you need to be armed with plans, with presence. Don't just walk into battles and be like, yeah, okay, I'm going to rely on my strength. Others are strong too. Others go to the gym too. And that's a metaphor, obviously. Others practice whatever they have to practice for work, right? So don't be unarmed by planning and presence. So the takeaway from this is that strategic reps matter way more than passionate flailing. Yeah, passion is great, but if you just flail passionately, that still doesn't get you the win. So strategic reps matter way more. And that's also basically an Ali saying, right? Winning moments are forged in hours no one sees. So you have to get in those reps. In life, in war, in martial arts. So now if you look back at the last 10 minutes to see what can we take away from Sun Tzu's the art of war for real life, well, I think it teaches us a lot of things outside the cage. One being clarity before action. Yeah, don't react just to react. Yeah, breathe, observe, and then act decisively. And that's one thing that's lacking a lot these days, I think. Decisiveness. If we act in a way where we can say, okay, I did something, but it's never really decisive. And I'm generalizing now, of course, but you know what I mean. Like we're acting in a way to be like, I did something, but without the decisiveness, without there being any sort of repercussions if it goes wrong, because we always try to play it safe. Understandable, but if you prepare, you breathe, you observe, and then you act in a way that benefits what you observed, then you can act decisively. Then you don't have to be like, I don't know. Then you can act based on your observations. Another learning is don't fight every battle. Yet choose the fights that matter. Don't waste energy on noise. Don't let noise drain you. That doesn't sound like rocket science. When I say those lines, I have Yoda in my mind when he's sitting between those laser doors in Star Wars and just not naps because he's like, can't do anything right now. So can as well just save my energy. Choose the fights that matter. Not every fight is worth fighting. Not every fight, every confrontation matters. Don't waste energy on noise. Third takeaway out of 4, design the battlefield. Whether it's a negotiation, a project, or a hard conversation, create the conditions. Don't just enter them. Remember, you want to be in control. And the best thing to be in control is to design the battlefield. You create the conditions. Final takeaway, stillness is not inaction. Observation is action. Control is won through stillness before movement. It's hard to make a plan while you're running towards chaos or while you're inside chaos. So stillness doesn't mean you're not doing anything. Observation is action. Practice observing. Control is won through stillness before movement. Very important takeaway, again, for war, martial arts, and for life. So, to bring it all together, Sun Tzu's Art of War may be 2,500 years old by now, but it's still shaping modern warriors. And you don't need to be violent to fight. I'm not saying like, now let's all go out and be violent. Of course not. That's not a martial arts mindset, right? What we learn from this is you need to be aware, prepared, and strategic. So next time you're in the middle of stress, chaos, confrontation, ask yourself, am I reacting or am I shaping this moment? If your answer is, oh, I'm reacting to something, you know what to do. All right, next week, we switch back to present-day fight world. So you see we're always switching it up, like present-day fighters to then like legendary fighters, historical figures, back and forth. So next week, present-day fight, stay tuned for that. Until then, protect your calm, strike with clarity. This was Fight Principles. Talk soon. Saudi Cup.
I think I'm Muay Thai. I think I'm Muay Thai.